Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So guys, I've been doing a lot of work on my champion tier list, which not that long ago actually I did a video on this, but we've had a lot of changes since I did that video, and there's been a lot of changes on my tier list as well. So I figured I'd just do a relatively short and sweet video to give you an idea of what's happened, what I've changed, and to help you guys out if you want to just get some resource in terms of, you know, how could you go about building your champions. So a couple of things which are relatively new on this if you've not seen it before. We have got a column that says, do I think this champion needs books? Column E. And if I think they need books, it will tell you which skill I think you should book if you're able to. So if you've got an apothecary and you land a bunch of books in A3, I would say stop booking at that point unless you've got books coming out your ears. So you can see here the skills that I think they need booked if you've got the skill books to do so. Other things I've added then, I've added a rank 6, which basically means they are MVP for that area of the game. There's very few that are going to have a rank 6. You can see like a sprinkling of 6s in the rare category. And as we go through the other categories, I'll show you in a second, there's a few more, but they really have to be like top tier to hit a 6. I've also rebalanced some of my other rankings. I've pulled some of them down where I felt they were a bit elevated. And by the time this video goes live, I'm going to have a final tab at the end, which pulls rares, epics, and legendaries all into one column and scores them against each other. You'll see in the individual categories as well, there's a total score column. Now, if someone's low, let's take Frozen Banshee. Frozen Banshee scores only 19 points versus Apothecary that scores 31. That does not mean Frozen Banshee's not a good champion. You can see Frozen Banshee gets a 6 for Clan Boss. She gets a 5 for Dragon. So use my tier list as a way to say, where is someone good in this game? Not as a way to say, what's their total score? That's a really important point. You'll also see that if I've made a guide on a champion, there is a link to that guide in this tier list. If I have got a champion built, there is my masteries, which you can click. Yeah. And it tells you where I've done those masteries for in most cases. And there's also just a click to the stats that I'm running on my champion. So gives you an idea of the type of builds that I've gone for, gives you an idea of the masteries that I've pulled together, and my scorings. So if I go into the epics, I've also now updated any of the changes which came with the last patch. So when we had the champion rebalance, a huge champion rebalance, blah, 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 all of these changes I've now put into my tier list. So everyone's been rescored. And as I say, some people have come up, some people have gone down. But you can see like a couple of the big movers and shakers. Grush, I value massively. Grush is coming to the top 5 epics as one of the free champions that you can get over login rewards. I've upscaled people like Maneater, who are just more and more important. And then with some of the buffs that have gone out there, you'll see names starting to creep higher and higher if they've actually got a decent buff. So this, I guess, like ever, guys, if there is any feedback, then feel free to put it in the comments below. Some of you are probably going to say, where's your faction war list or score? I don't do that on this. I do it as a separate spreadsheet, which again will be in my video description. So if you want to know about faction wars, that's on a completely different list. I'll show it to you quickly, actually. That looks like this. If you haven't seen my video on that, I'll ping the video for Faction Wars above. But basically with Faction Wars, I score people in their ability to do different things for Faction Wars and kind of build you a team rather than build you an individual champion. It's worth checking out my Faction War video if you've not seen that in terms of how I built this and the champions that are in this list. So as you can see, we've got a few MVPs coming through in the epic category. A good example, Skull Crown comes in for arena defense for me as a 6 as an MVP. Madame Cerise, arena offense as a 6. For defense, she only scores a 4, etc. Yeah, so we've done a pretty big update. Anyone that's got like an HP burn AoE, like Ultimate Gaelic here, gets a 6 for Spider because they're so valuable. And as you can see going down, the scores get worse and worse on the epics. I told Brawler's a good example of someone that is lowly scored but has got an MVP for Clan Boss, but I don't really value him in other areas of the game. Some of the buffed champions are still towards the bottom. Like there's a few where I just don't feel like the buff has made any real significant difference. But yeah, need to, I guess, back to the drawing board on the buffs on those ones. So moving on to the legendaries then. We've got some movers and shakers coming on. So Siphi stays top. I think even after the nerf, I think she's still insanely strong, and she gets a couple of MVPs for Arena. Valkyrie has got a couple of MVPs as well, so she is jumping up to second spot for me. Mashold, I've got an MVP on Arena Offense, so he's scaled up a bit in my scoring as well. Warlord equally is highly scored, and Arbiter. Kreela might be a bit of a shocker. I've put her in as top 10. Top 10, what you saying to that? I think she adds a ton of value in pretty much every area of the game, so I really like her. We've got Trunda coming in with a few MVP spots as well. And then as we move down, Sato comes in at rank 26th with some really good scores. Who else? Elder Skarg has got some improvements to his scoring, so he's gone up. Rotus is kind of come right down. Rotus I've now scored as 4s for the Arena instead of 5s. Still strong in the Ice Golem, I think, so still got a 5 there. Maybe that should be MVP, actually. Probably should. Still MVP there, I'd say. And then coming down. So the next guide I'm going to try and redo is going to be old big boy Drakol, who at the moment is scoring really low. I'm going to rework him with my champion that I just pulled last night and see if I can get any more out of him. But at the moment, it's looking pretty bleak. Who else is down here in the bottom 10 then? So Grohack, Mortu, even Mortu after his second recent buff, still feels low. By Stoffers, I tried out, still just not strong enough. Just like compared to the other buffs that were out there, I feel like he's still weak. I built him out. I built him out to be an absolute nuker. Didn't do a ton for me. Champfort might need to have a bit of a relook. I've not played around with him since I got him. And I've seen Jay Diggs has put a video out saying that he's not bad. So perhaps I need to rework some of these numbers. Let me know, guys. But otherwise, I feel like it's in pretty good spot. So use it, abuse it, share it. It's available for anyone. If you want to download it, you can just click in the top corner, right click and copy, and then paste it into your own Excel sheets. But yeah, that's my tier list. That's my update. Use it. Hope you enjoy it. I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you later.